Hi, everyone. Welcome back once again. Zach and Zach here. And today we want to talk to you about something called New York State Ed Law 2D. You might not have heard a lot about New York State Ed Law 2D, but it's actually pretty important. New York State passed a couple of laws in the last several years that really impact how we can use student information and data. And we need to talk to you a little bit about it and what's going to happen in our district. So to dig right in, Zach, what is New York State Ed Law 2D?
So Ed Law 2D it's a statute that New York State created, and the development was to essentially promote safe practices and policies to make sure that student data is kept private and isn't shared with any third parties or outside sources.
All right, so what you're really saying is basically we can't share our data outside of our school system at all, or there's just rules about it?
There's rules, so it can be shared, but there are certain vendors that we can share it with, and there's policies that were created within Ed Law that basically have binding contracts with vendors, and teachers would know who we can share it with because they would be told, but I wouldn't share any data with anybody that you're unsure of or any third-party organization.
Okay, so that's kind of like some of the HIPAA and FERPA regulations that we see in our school system.
Exactly, and it's just like, if you're going to the doctor, they have their HIPAA regulations, privacy regulations. It's the same exact thing, but for a school setting.
Got it, thanks. So for Ed Law, we see a term called PII. Can you tell us what that means?
Yeah, so PII is personally identifiable information, and specifically in Ed Law 2D, the most important thing is for staff to remain vigilant in maintaining confidentiality when it comes to PII, not only of students, but for staff, and they actually point out specifically classroom teachers and principals.
For teachers and staff out there that maybe want to make sure that they're not running afoul of Ed Law 2D regulations, what are some look-fors and practices that they should keep in mind?
Yeah, so a couple things, and a lot of us know this already, but I wouldn't send out anything that has student information, like a spreadsheet with student names or accounts, to anybody outside of the organization. That's a big one. Also, make sure that when you are signing your students up for any type of accounts or third-party system, that the district already has a link to that. A place where you can check is something like if you log into Clever. A lot of those systems we've actually made sure are up and running properly and are abiding by a lot of the Ed Law 2D requirements. So you want to make sure that you're not dealing with anybody third party that the district hasn't vetted yet.
All right, so you're saying sending information just sort of outside of our domain, whether it's through email, a spreadsheet, just sending it to someone that's not part of our organization. In general, if our district is loading the software into our system, if it's on our Google system, you're good to go. If it's in Clever and it's something we have set up, you're also good. We've worked out agreements with those third-party organizations. But if you're looking to sign up for a new tool, please be aware that you may be sharing PII. There are any other sort of tips or tricks or things that we should keep in mind going forward with this?
Yeah, so there's some just general safe practices that are always good to remember. You want to always exercise caution when clicking on links in your email. Only open up attachments that you know are from somebody that you are expecting. You don't want to leave your workstation or your laptop unattended. You want to make sure you lock it in case you're going to be leaving it for any amount of time. You want to make sure that your passwords are strong, which we encourage and we actually require in our systems. And just again, make sure that when you're handling student data, just be conscious of the fact of where it's going. And you want to make sure that you're not going to absolutely send it to anybody outside of the district domain or our organization.
Got it. So all those behaviors can help us make sure that we're keeping data where it needs to be, and we've minimized the opportunities for any security breaches to happen. All right, so can you talk to us briefly a little bit about what is going to happen here in Ithaca with Ed Law 2D and what teachers and staff and various professionals in our district should keep an eye out for?
Everyone should keep an eye out for an email that the IT department is going to be sending. In the email, you're going to get a short link, and the link is going to take you to a module that you're going to complete, and it should only take about 20 or 30 minutes, And in the module, it's going to contain a bunch of the information that we just discussed about EdLaw 2D and best safe practices.
All right, so we'll definitely keep an eye out for those emails. Once everyone completes the module, they are set for their EdLaw 2D requirement for the year. They can look forward to the one in the next calendar year. That's all for now. Thanks, Zach.
You're welcome. Thank you. So yes, we would. So in the next, can't say date. We'll have to cut that out a little bit. So we gotta cut that. That's not good. So
is that a curveball? Is that too hard?
No.